So, hello everyone. A warm welcome to each and everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again in this new day for the Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So, if you're wondering why we call it Zipinar instead of webinar, it is technically a webinar, but we try to zip in two different topics from two different professionals in just one session to minimize the time consumed for you watching the webinar, but maximizing the information you get from this initiative. So this is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan, and also visible in Mexico, Spain, and India. And they wish to give back to the community in a form of knowledge sharing. So we arrived here at a free knowledge sharing platform, which is now named Let Us Talk It. It was pronounced before as Let Us Talk IT, but we come up to make sure that we cover more like relevant topics to be delivered in this session instead of just one section. So we hope that you enjoy and you interact with our speakers today with the topics that they will deliver. So first off, my name is Phil, and I'll be hosting this webinar right now. And for the first topic that we have today, we have break down inner barriers to your personal success and fulfillment. So this topic provides an understanding of inner barriers that many people in their personal and professional lives are facing without knowing how to overcome them effectively, and the opportunity to identify effective solutions to break free from them in order to achieve personal success and more fulfillment in their lives. And to deliver this topic, we have here Maria De Silva, and who is a mindset coach and an NLP practitioner, mentor, trainer, and a motivational speaker, and also a businesswoman who is passionate about helping women to turn their limitations into strength and success, and has a passion for empowering them to overcome their internal obstacles like lack of confidence, mental health, low self worth, procrastination, feeling overwhelmed, lack of clarity, and the list goes on. Because this is common, like without the gender, we have problems on lack of confidence and mental health and the self esteem. So this is something that is really important and it needs to be promoted in aiding those issues. And first off, with this speaker that we have today, so since I have introduced her already a little bit, and to let her introduce more of herself, I'll start by asking her if she could like start telling us a little bit about herself, and also like how, like Maria, how did you become a mindset coach? Like, what's the story behind?
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, Phil. And yeah, an amazing experience to become a mindset coach. And it's basically because I identify a lot of people that are facing limitations in their various in their lives. And also because I am related with that social experiences for many, many years. And the opportunity that I have to share my story is going to explain the process of transformation from the person that having your barriers to the person that become the best version of themselves, and also to attract or achieve all the social opportunities and blessings in my life as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this story and to explain in detail, step by step, all the social outcomes that I achieved, and explaining why I became mindset coach as well. I'll be able to explain it as soon as possible. I'm going to start it with this powerful story that is going to raise awareness to every one of you, a personal story. And first of all, I want to ask you a question to every one of you that are watching now. Did you know how is the percentage of women or men that are facing in the barriers currently? What is exactly the percentage of women and men that are facing limitations in their lives that are holding them back? This is my questions. I would like that every one of you be able to guess and have a chance to reflect about it.
ballpark in my head, just for my own opinion, like I say mostly 90% maybe.
Yeah. Okay. The reality currently in statistics, 78% of women and 79% of men are facing limitations in their barriers in their personal professional life. And it's something alarming, something difficult to realize that are facing that limitations, that there's also difficulties in silence without any support, without any source of solution. In their mind, they're thinking it's the only way to live their life. They don't have any way out. But the truth is that there are opportunities to break free from that. And also, I'm saying this because there's also limitations in the barriers, lack of confidence, limited beliefs, low self-esteem, lack of procrastination, imposter syndrome. That's also limitations in the various mental health as well. I faced it as well. And in my story, I am from South America. I came to England 6 years ago. And I faced for not 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. I faced limitation in the barriers for 20 years of my life. I faced mental health, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, social anxiety. I'm a dyslexic person, and also I have a personality, an introverted personality. And that's also limitations. That's also inner barriers where holding me back from succeeding, from being the best version of myself. And I let my limitations do something that I didn't realize was happening. They are taking control of three important things that help any person to be responsible in their lives and also to be able to achieve their goal, success, and fulfillment. Three important components: thoughts, emotions, and actions. I let my limitations to control these three important things in my life. How did you know how to overcome that? Also, I realized that not just was taking control of the three important components in my life, was taking something more powerful, something more important. That was my health. And I realized when I went to the doctor's appointment, the doctor told me, Maria, you have the health condition of a woman of 75, and you are in your 30s. Also, your high blood pressure is 190 over 100, and you are in risk to have a heart attack or brain damage in any moment, and you have to be hospitalized. I realized the dangerous thing when you embrace or you let your limitations and inner barriers be in charge of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and also your health. When I went to the hospital, I have to be hospitalized as soon as possible. I realized is that going to be the last time I'm going to see my family? It's going to be the last time I'll be able to do the things that I'm passionate about helping people, supporting, be a nice person. That was painful. And that was my opportunity, because when I noticed that I didn't do anything about it, I started to check my cell phone, and I decided to identify any source of information that helped me to be positive in this moment, happy and excited, or how to face this situation. And I came across with a powerful statement that says, the only person that be able to create happiness in your life is you. In that moment, I realized that for me, the most important thing is to admit that I need to let my unconscious mind and my limitations and the barriers that I'm not agree that they are in charge of my life. I want to let them know that are going to be changes, that are going to be in charge. I'm going to be in charge of my thoughts, emotions, and actions. And I'm going to do everything in my power to create the life that I truly deserve. I embraced that powerful statement every single day, every moment, because I want to live a better life. I want to do the things that I'm passionate about. After 2 days, when I came home, my purpose and my motivation was to embrace it every single day, and I did it. And I started taking action. And my first step was to identify the best possible solutions for me to break free from my mental health, from my depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. What I did, I identified different social institutions, charities. I get support from them. That was a fantastic opportunity as well. And I attended to doctor's appointment, and something powerful and something wonderful happened to me. I came across with the right doctor that told me why I'm having that sort of panic attack and social anxiety and depression. He gave me the right treatment in order to be here, in order to do the things that I'm passionate about, and to be excited and happy to be in this world doing the things that I love. That was a blessing because I decided to be in charge. I decided to take action. The second thing that I did after that, I decided to identify the best career pathway for me. I struggled for many years in my professional life, working for charities, working for organizations. They saw my capability, my potential, but my limitations and their barriers were taking control of my life again. For that reason, I couldn't tell my manager that I have that sort of difficulties. I was ashamed that he's going to say that I'm not the right person, or that I don't have the right skills, or I don't deserve to be there. And I couldn't tell him, and I couldn't carry on working that. I decided to identify the best career path to me that gave me that passion and motivation to do something that I love. And I came across with being a mindset coach. That transformed my life. I identified different social opportunities, tools, and strategies to help me to overcome all the social limitations that I was facing as well. That was amazing. Another blessing for me. The third thing was that I really want to raise awareness about mental health. I want to build a business and share that social information, that the story, and let them know that there are opportunities to improve your life, to change your life. And I built my business. And I came across with people that were able to guide me and help me. And I'm so proud of myself. And I'm happy to do something like that. But what happened is that every time that you're taking action, moving forward, and embracing that powerful, powerful statement, something happened. Something happened to me. I embraced a powerful belief system. I eliminate the negative perception about myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't believe in myself. But I learned that I'm a new version of myself, that I'm confident, that I'll be able to connect with people, that I'll be able to do something meaningful. And I'm so proud of Kate for taking action and moving forward. Another thing happened. When you're doing that, when I was doing that, taking action, taking a step-by-step moving forward, your level of vibration, your intention, your state of mind is so powerful that you start attracting blessings in your life. All the sorts of blessings that were waiting for me around the corner, but I couldn't watch it, I couldn't achieve it, I couldn't get it. Why? Because I 100% focused on limitations that were holding me back from achieving the things that I truly deserve, that every person in this world deserves. I was invited for different international events, summits events, talking and sharing my story, something that I'm very proud. Someone that had lack of confidence, anxiety, was able to do that sorts of things. I was invited in TV shows raising awareness of mental health. I'm training different social groups, social media groups. I provided training for a lot of people, a lot of women that were happy to say, I'm gonna take action, I'm gonna move forward. And that means a lot to me. I'm a writer, I'm a mindset coach. I have to that sorts of things. Those are my blessings that were waiting for me. And now I'm being able to attract them because I deserved it. Every person in this world deserves all the social blessings. And the only thing that we need to do is to understand that if you're embracing limitations and the barriers, that if you have a negative perception about yourself, that negative perception about yourself is an illusion. Is an illusion. You have the right. You deserve a better life, but you need to take action. You need to get support. You need to identify different social opportunities for you because you deserve it. And all the opportunities that I have, okay, that's perfect. It's approved. But the most important thing that I'm grateful is to know that I'm 100% present in this current moment for things that matter, that are in control of my thoughts, emotions, and action. And I'm going to do everything in my power to create a life that I truly deserve. That is my gift. That is my blessing. And I'm grateful for that. The opportunity to share with every one of you my story is the purpose of save people's life. Try to identify or recognize that you deserve better. And you have all the support, all the tools, all the strategies to create the life that you truly deserve. That was my process on becoming a mindset coach. I'm so happy, so grateful to be here to share my story, my personal experience.
That really is very inspiring. Like Maria, like i- you find it after you found like like embrace yourself. For those that you were not uncapable before, like those things that limits you. But like can you share with us the like, common internal barriers that people, professionals, like like they often face when they're trying to achieve their goals?
Yeah. There are different also inner barriers that a lot of people are facing in silence. The common barriers that we face is the limited beliefs, that low self-esteem, lack of confidence, procrastination. Um, that's also limiting beliefs that we think in our mind that is a reality, but we need to learn how to recognize that they are just an illusion. And we need to start taking action to break free, to not be part of that social reality. And if you are facing that social limitations and barriers, if you are facing that, please don't hesitate to get support. Please don't hesitate to looking for the best possible solutions for you because you deserve a better life. You deserve a second chance. I got it. I'm happy. I'm very excited to be here. And you deserve that. So if you're aware about that, don't feel ashamed. Talk to someone, reach someone that is able to support you, get information, get all the support, and you will be fine. You will be able to unlock all your potential and be confident like I am, and enjoyed it every single minute of my life to do the things that I'm passionate about and creating impact. It changes people's life as well.
So, like gaining your confidence really makes a big difference. Well, that's really wonderful. And yeah, I'm sure you have given your story from how you became like a mindset coach, but like do you have a specific example or story from your personal perspective where shifting mindset made a significant difference?
Personal story. For example, I I struggle a lot communicating with people. I struggle a lot in sharing my knowledge, my ideas. And the problem that I had was that I believe that I wasn't capable enough. That I mentioned it before. I had a negative perception about myself. And what happened was that I had a presentation at work, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And it was something that I've done it before when I was working in another source of institutions in Ecuador. And I thought, why I can't do that? And I start not feeling better. I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. And the opportunity that I learned as a mindset coach and all the tools that I learned, that's just basically to understand that that limitation, that universe that I embrace it, that was an illusion. And the only thing that I need is to embrace the things that I believe that I want to be better in that specific area of my life. I couldn't do it properly. I couldn't do it in that specific time. But I would like to have that support or that information in that time to be better, to perform better, and not doubt on myself and not have limitations. I don't let my limitations take control of my thoughts, emotions, and actions. And another thing for a client that has difficulties to communicate with his manager, and every time she struggle, she feel afraid because his personality was really strong, like a make you fear, like a make you scared. And she couldn't express their ideas properly. She was very, very afraid about it. And she was telling me that. And what happened is that there are technique that you're able to use because in her brain, in his mind, she have a specific picture. She have a specific image of that situation. And in his mind says, it's something that you need to avoid. You need to avoid that social situations because it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And that person is going to limit herself to do that sorts of things. And there is a technique that helps her to switch that image in her brain, his mind, and put a new one that embrace that help her to be more confident, to be more motivated to face that reality. It's a technique that I put in practice with my clients, and I did it as well. And in a few, I think there's 20 minutes, a session, she's able to remember just that image. She doesn't remember that negative feeling, all that experience. She just remembered the good image and the good experience, and she's embracing positive emotions. She's feeling more comfortable. That's also tools help any person that is struggling with limitations. And you're able to acquire, you're able to learn, but you don't need to lose a hope in get a social support or the social opportunities to improve your life. And that is there's also two examples that I'm going to provide right now. There are different social methods, different social tools, but only we need to do is to take action and get a social support in order to break free from that social limitations.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that one. Like there are cases that individuals will say like it's hard to transition, like they find it hard to shift. Of course, there are steps to take, like one step at a time, or baby steps into transitioning or shifting into that particular mindset. Like, is there any tool or resource that you are working on that you can recommend to our listeners, or like you recommend to your clients?
Yeah, the different sorts of things that we're able to do is just try to identify possible solutions, get support from different social organizations and charities, reach out, and connect with your family members, try to talk to them. And also the opportunity as well to get a training. One is also tools that be able to help you to overcome the situation. In my situation, I offered different social trainings. And that trainings, or that's also master classes that I'm offering, is to help people to be able to identify those unwanted behaviors, also to utilize the powerful tools to break free from that. Then they're able to eliminate that negative perception that they have about themselves, and after that, they're able to implement a powerful habit, because there are steps that we need to incorporate in our daily life in order to get us also results. And after that, you're able to be in control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. You're going to be aware, and you're going to be unblock all the source of potential that you have. And you're able to achieve all the social opportunities and blessings in your life. You increase your confidence, your productivity as well, and the communication skills. You're able to feel like the person that you really want to be. And that is something that I'm offering. And if you want any source of support, you want to reach out, you're able to contact me in my social media, in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you're able to book a free discovery call. And yeah, you're able to talk to me, ask me any questions, and we'll be happy to help any support that you need.
Yes, thank you. And speaking of questions, anyone from the attendees would like to ask or share their insights as well with regards to the topic, feel free to unmute or like raise your hand so we can acknowledge. And if you wish to reach out to our presenter, our speaker right here, Maria, if you could like share the links to the chat if you have any, they're prepared. And to end the first part of the topic, if you could share us some um like an inspiring message and acknowledging the one who was typing is the CEO of Cogent, the one initiated this Let Us Talk It platform. That's Srini Kanta. He's driving, so he cannot open his mic. And yeah, and he really appreciate your insights. And yeah, as I was saying, if you have links that our attendees or the listeners, or for those who will be watching this later, that they can join into, you can put it on the chat, or you can just say it on the screen. And then for you to end the first part, you can just share us maybe like an advice or any inspiring message to each and everyone.
Okay. I definitely want to let you know that you are able to do something very, very important and very powerful, and is to be 100% present. 100% present in things that matter. 100% present in things that are priority in your life. And you need to embrace it every single day. You need to embrace it every single minute. And something that I utilize every time is down my limits. I down my limits because I know that for 20 years, I believe that I wasn't confident enough. I believe that I don't have the potential to succeed. I believe that I'm able to create impact or help people all around the world. I believe that I couldn't do that. But now I'm doubting my limits. That is something that I want every one of you that are watching now, that embrace that powerful statement. Doubt your limits. Doubt that negative perception about yourself, and start attracting all the source of blessings that are waiting for you around the corner, because you deserve it. Every one of you deserve it.
Thank you so much. That's really wonderful and very inspiring. So, yes, I totally agree. So, and also the highlighted thing here is that your self esteem matters, and your mentality matters, and also gaining your confidence will bring changes to whatever you do. So, thank you so much, Maria, for bringing that one here in this presentation. And then, yeah, for those again who will be like looking forward to get in touch with her offline, you can just search her name, Maria Zilva. So that's with a Z, and she's very responsive on LinkedIn. So definitely you can talk to her or yeah, send her a message. All right. So thank you so much again, Maria. And then we can move to the next topic for today. And for the next topic, we have mining the minds of the masses. So if you think mining is just on areas where people are having hard time to reach, now we're talking about mining the minds of the masses. So this topic will contrast the institutional versus individual innovations. So it will be followed by a deep dive into informal innovations and their impact on the society with case studies. And to for like the one who will head this topic for us is Mr. Rajesh Rao, but he prefers to be called Raj, and he's currently the manager engineering simulation, and at how do you pronounce the company? It's CYIENT, Scient. I believe
Yeah,
I'm right.
that's signed.
Yes, thank you. And he is a MTech in aerospace from IIT Hyderabad and served defense, aviation, wind energy industries in different technologies like computer aided engineering, 3D printing, and automation. And is very passionate about training, building teams, public speaking, innovation, and an ex Toastmaster. Pro bono engagements like volunteer for grassroots innovations, assisting team and landmark worldwide, and is also fascinated with photography, dancing, and playing cricket. But more of this will be discussed with his bio. We have here Raj, who will be talking about minding the minds of masses. And yes, sir, you can take over.
Okay, thank you, Phil John. Thanks for the introduction. And good morning, everybody in the US, and good evening, India. Let me share my screen. Phil, can you confirm if my screen is visible? Full
Yes,
screen?
yes,
Okay, thank you. Okay, so as Phil was mentioning, it's about mining, not the mining of minerals or the metallic ores, but mining the minds of the masses. So when we say, I think the keywords here are mining, minds, and masses. So mining, all of us know. I think all of you being in IT, you know what data mining and getting what is required or what's hidden in somewhere. That's called mining, right? And minds, of course, we know. But what do we mean by masses? I know in India we call masses as the groups of people, like large masses of people who are not living in the cities, or we predominantly village dwelling people. Okay, so we all of us being in the uh, cities, or employees or businessmen or managers. So we can call ourselves, for our discussions, let's call ourselves formal system. And those who are not in the cities, villages, we can call them masses or informal system. Do we think that they have minds? We're all qualified. We work in hi-fi technologies, AC rooms, tall buildings, right? Do we think that do they have minds? Uh, let's see. Right. So here's the outline of the presentation. So we look at institutional versus individual innovation. So, okay, we just saw, do they have minds? And I'm talking about innovation. Let's see what if they have and what they do, and does it really help the mankind? And Indian traditional style of innovation, followed by what values do they cherish, follow those individual innovation innovators, and is there any need to connect the formal and informal system? Is connection possible, or is there somebody doing it? What is possible? What's available? Let's look at all of them now. So institutional innovation, uh, as it says, it's an institute. When I say institutional, it need not be a research institute or a university, but an organized system. Could be a corporate. So I'm sure you agree, right? So there is a qualification required. It could be MSc, BTech, or whatever the management degree or science degree or arts degree, whatever degree it is, as a qualification. And it is not for all, only the selected few. They are chosen, they are interviewed, they are selected and given a role. And they operate with a macro view, like bigger picture. And then they form teams, they have policies, they have principles, they have procedures like Six Sigma to ISO, etc., etc. They have structure, hierarchy, processes, and everything is laid out, right? And sophisticated infrastructure in terms of man, materials, and methods, sophisticated laboratories, testing procedures, and multiple systems working together, right? That's all sophisticated infrastructure. That's what I mean. And is there any challenge here? Is there something missing? I'm not trying to look at what is bad or wrong, but is there any challenge? So, in my observation, the challenge is that those qualified people may not be innovative, and few innovative people may not have the qualification to step into these institutes or corporates to pursue research or to contribute, right? So that's one challenge. Of course, there could be many, but one big challenge I see is this. Now, 1 second, I think I missed a slide, right? So on the contrary, if you look at institutional innovations, primarily, if for any country, if you look at it, right, there are, so if you look at India, there are verticals of research. So there's a defense research, there's a space research, medical research, agricultural research, industrial research, and atomic research, etc. That's one category. Second category is the corporates. It could be Indian or multinational or they together. Google's, Microsoft, or it could be Cogent, Infosys, all of them, Tech Mahindra, Tata's, Birlas, etc. They are there. And then the third category is probably unknown to most of us, which is innovation by school children, which is about 20 plus crores of school children given any point of time in the country. And there's something called common man innovation. We call them grassroots innovations. That's the individual innovations that we have. So now let's look at what do we mean by individual innovation? What are their value systems? Previously, centuries ago, as I said, Indian traditional system, individual innovation, it could be a poet or a mason or a sculptor or a wood artist. No example, right? All of them were promoted by kings or landlords or zamindars, we call it in India. So they produce the innovation and they're promoted by these people. And there's also a market or patronized by the system. So because you're doing this artwork, so you get a market, there is a marketplace, there's a value. So there's a livelihood for him. But this has taken a big blow with the British rule. When British invaded India, all the systems have almost disappeared from the country because they have imposed their own system of mass production, industrialization, green revolution, etc., etc. So institutional excellence took over, and this so-called individual innovation has taken a backseat. But if you look at it, that has not died. Probably it has been suppressed, but it has been in unknown pockets of different villages or small towns. It's been there. It is still living and striving. Okay, may not be striving very healthily, but it's been there. And all of us do not know, probably many of us do not know that there is something there. As I said, it's blindly, and they have a micro view for their own problems. And one more thing is when we look at industrial or institutionalized innovations, they are standardized. Like when we call about mass production, right? That's what it is, right? They're like standardized, same size for all the people. Of course, there are standard sizes. It could be, if you take a shirt, there's like small, medium, large, but that kind of standardized availability, that kind of variation is there, but predominantly it's standardized. We'll see some examples. But if you look at life, right, human life and nature, so it's more of customization, not standardization. But that's the one conflict that we see. And there's also diversity. If you look at the length and breadth of the country, there's so many diverse things. It could be language, culture, eating habits, living habits, So many things, hobbies. This bias diversity as okay. I'm probably biased towards India, but I'm sure this is applicable to any country which you belong to or relate to. I've always been there, but it's predominantly been untapped and unscouted, right? So let's look at an example of the solutions or innovations and given by the institutional innovations to the masses. So let's take an example of a farm equipment. It could be, there are many kinds of machineries. It could be tractors or harvesters and many such assisted, power assisted or tractor driven equipment. Let's look at tractors. So they, what is available predominantly in this country are 30 to 75 HP, horsepower. We can see here, right? This is from a source in India, 55 horsepower or 47 horsepower. So predominantly it's in the bracket of 30, 50, 70 horsepower and beyond. So, but okay, these designs were available or probably made for Western market, and those companies tied up with the Indian manufacturers and launched those models as they are. May not be customized to the needs, but they were selling what they were interested to sell. They were selling what they could, but did they look at what is required? Let's see. But let's look at some features of them. They are high in cost. They produce hydrocarbon pollution, as any automobile does, and they use a lot of fuels. How appropriate is it? Let's look at the market that we have in India. I mean, I'm talking when I say market, it's the farmers that are there. So, okay, I'll talk about the title of the slide later once we look at the concept here. So 85% of the farmers in the country, they are small or marginal farmers who own 1 or 2 hectares, like very small piece of land. And they do not need 30, 40, 70 HP tractors. What they need is 6 to 7 or 10 HP max. They are sufficient. But if you look at what's available in the market, so they are like 30, 70 HP. So that's the gap, right? That's not small gap, it's very high gap. So the cost of those products are prohibitively high. Okay, so this is the situation when the world or the engineers or the so-called formal system is not giving what they want. What few individuals have done is they have put their foot down and they said, we will not suffer, we will not wait, we will not be victims. They took something on their own part. Okay, they voluntarily devised some innovations, put something together with their own knowledge, with their own expertise, with local resources, with support of local community. So they have devised amazing innovations. We call them grassroots innovations. So I'm quoting first example here, which is a small tractor, below 10 HP tractor. So this is the small tractor that was developed by Divya Jyoti. Let me play the small video here while I talk about the values or the qualities that it have. So it is used for farming, help, processing the soil, carry weights, as we can see in the second video. So they're affordable, they're appropriate. They meet the needs of the farmers, not like prohibitively high, but appropriateness, right? That's critical for any product. I'm sure all of your product engineers, you design products or solutions. And here is an example of when user becomes the designer, right? Often the user is here and the product designer is somewhere else. I think they usually talk to design a product, but they during communication gap and during testing, there are some things that are possible to be missed. But here is an example where the user himself is the designer and all the gaps that are, there's no possibility for the gap because all they are getting processed in the same mind. They're appropriate, they're affordable, low running cost, less pollution, and of course sustainable, scalable as well. So many farmers can buy this and live happily. So as I said, we call them grassroots innovations. Let's look at some values of grassroots innovation. So this has been there from time immemorial, as I said, during pre-British era and many centuries ago, and all of this is voluntary. contrary to the institutionalized systems where there is a role, there's a system, there are structures. Here, there's no structure, there's no quality system, there's no audits. Everything is voluntary. Of course, there could be some lacunae because of absence of such systems, but predominantly this voluntary. He's the designer. Nobody appointed him as an engineer to and gave this requirements to design a product. So he assumed, he saw the problem. He empathized with the pain of the users, of the farmers. He himself could be a farmer, or his parents, or somebody, family members, or his brothers in the society, right? So he has seen the pain and then assumed that responsibility. He felt the empathy, right? So we call it samvedana in Sanskrit and many Indian languages. Uh, the closest samvedana is feeling what the other person is feeling, right? Putting yourself in the other person's shoes. And I think empathy is what we talk about in the design thinking methodology as well, right? So as I said, it's primarily voluntary and addressing problems of livelihood activity, samvedana. And what it does is it enhances the comfort, reduces the drudgery, and contribute immensely to productivity, safety, better quality of life for himself, and uh, it could be for himself and for his fellow community members. And India has always had many such uh, grassroots innovations from years, centuries. Okay, so let's look at Samvedana based. Let's take a simple example. Uh, so in handlooms, there's something called jacquard system. I'm sure some of us know. So where some equipment has to be lifted when we do that warping and wefting, right? So the pedal has to be pressed, and the weight to be lifted is approximately 20-25 kg per stroke. So it has to be pressed with the pedal, and the lift it lifts this effort of the handloom weaver, lifts the machine, and the loom goes this way, the thread goes this way, and then he releases it. The holding time is kind of 2-3 seconds approximately, and then it goes, and then for each pass he has to press it twice. So that's the pain that so far all the handloom weavers who are using the jacquard system had to face. But here is a machine designed by Moda Shiva. He is not an engineer, village dweller, informal system. He devised a machine, and it is going to replace it. It's going to help thousands of farmers, so thousands of weavers across the country. Is the amazing machine. I met him. I could see the machine. It's an amazing machine. So let's look at a simple example. So in electrical pole, the power transmission company, there is a role called pole climber. So whenever there's a power cut, okay, I'm sure all of us may not know because many countries have this underground cable system. But before that, they were always poles, and in India and many countries they're still poles. So pole climbing is a specific skill, and for that role, the interview or the selection process involves pole climbing with hands. It has its own risk, and then many people have died and got fatally injured as well. But there's this Tirupati Rao. He devised a small machine, small shoe which has a metal hook, which you can hook it onto the pole and then take support and then climb. That's what he's doing now. I didn't put a lot of videos because of paucity of time, but just wanted to show the picture. So these are the examples of uh, Samvedana based solutions. Nobody appointed them. So they assumed that, okay, let me do something for now. They did the first prototype, improvised on it, did the second prototype, put it for testing. They tested on themselves first and gave it to the brothers in the community, and then improved, and then finally made a market ready, and they started selling, right? That's what Samvedana based solution is. I'm not trying to find fault with the institutionalized innovation. I'm only showcasing the gap that the focus of institutionalized innovation is in the urban sector where there's a lot of money, a lot of resources. And okay, it's a simple example, right? So iPhone, when it was released, now it is, I think, 13 or 14 or 14x. So from 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 13 to 14, all these, they're getting developments, updates, patches, antivirus, high resolution camera, all these features are being added. Great. But what are we doing? The engineers or the corporates or governments, what are we doing for the farmers, for the masses? Are we doing something? That's something which we should ask ourselves. And while we are ignorant of the existence of their challenges, some of them are creating solutions, right? As we have seen here. Let me also give a small example. So we have seen this hand pump, right, in many villages in in India, but I'm sure it's there in many countries. So you hand powered water drawn from the ground. And so what happened is, there's a small story in a school. This girl, she had to follow the queue because there's only one pump in the school. And then she, after lunch, she cleaning her plate and then having drunk water, she entered the class late and she was punished by her teacher for coming late. Then she goes home and then cries. And her father, who could understand the problem, he said, okay, let me do something about it. So he's devised a solution out of empathy for his daughter, and also for other school children. So what we have is a simple solution. It's a pipe with 7 outlets. From the single outlet is divided into 7 outlets, and 7 students or anybody can take water parallelly, right? So for an engineer like me, I think all of us also, right? So it is like scaling 1:1 to 1:7. Isn't it beautiful? And it gets simple, affordable, appropriate, simple, and solves problems, correct? And there's no complex technology here, no sensors, no IoT stuff. Of course, this is a simple example, but there's no such need, and it's affordable in does the job. Okay, I'll skip this example. I'll also skip this. Well, let's let me quickly cover the philosophy of grassroots innovation. So if they look at removing a pain, solving a problem, if solving a completely problem is not possible, they'll reduce the pain, definitely reduce the pain. And they believe that there is a solution. All of us are capable to solve problems. And that capacity is innate with us. Through volunteering, they want to contribute to the society and make a mark, make a difference. Now, the most important aspect, let's look at formal system versus informal system. What does formal system have? Government, there's corporate, there's a lot of money. There are rules and regulations. There are roles of people. There's centralization. Of course, science and technology. That's what we are working on, all of us. And on the contrary, what informal system has is this nature, this samveda as empathy, volunteerism. There's local technology. They may not have hi-fi, but local technologies, local resources, and decentralization. These are existing as they are, unknown and unconnected, right? They've been there. Informal system have been there, and formal system, we are there. We've been there. But do we know them? Do they know us? And is it worthwhile to connect both of them? What is possible? And are they equal? Of course, it's a mindset, as the previous speaker said. It's also, again, a mindset. Do we treat them equal? Do we think that informal system people, or the masses, or those village dwellers or high school dropouts, are they capable? Do they have mind? They always think about formal system as sophisticated people with awe. But do we consider them as empathy? Do we empathize with them, that, or not empathize? Or do we recognize them as somebody who have minds? Do we have mutual respect? I don't want to say anything. That's why I'm putting question marks here. Okay. Now let me introduce one organization which has been which is doing the job of connecting informal and formal system. This Palle Srujana, that is the organization which has been working on connecting formal system and informal system, making a difference to the grassroots innovations. Palle Srujana is a Telugu word which means Palle means village, Srujana means creativity or innovation, creativity in Sanskrit and many Indian languages. So that's the voluntary organization where I've been volunteering for about a decade. So why do grassroots need formal system? Let's look at both sides. So why do formal system need innovation, grassroots innovation? Why do grassroots needs innovation? Grassroots innovations need formal system. So for refinement of innovations, for standardization, for funding, for awards, for recognition, for licenses validation. They have what they do with what they have. But if we are able to contribute our value addition, it could be aesthetics, ergonomic standards, safety, all this like ease of assembly. I'm talking about mechanical system, joint ventures, and of course, a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities are also there. They definitely need mentoring. So media, of course, spreading the news about their existence in the world, right? That's what they also need. Okay, how can formal systems benefit from grassroots innovation? So let me give a simple example of direct. So if farming through innovation, farming has been very productive. There's a high yield, less pain. Then the product cost of it could be any product, right? When I say product, I mean the rice or wheat or any products made from them. They would cost less. And if we've seen example of handloom, it could be sari or a shirt. So they would cost less. That's a direct impact. But there's also many other indirect impacts, which is this one in innovation. We see this coconut, right? Coconut, we have coconut water and throw away the shell. So the shell is not used for anything. So that's why we see they lying, filling the landfills, so many dustbins, they are filled with this coconut shredder. So somebody has devised a machine in a village in Telangana, near Hyderabad. So that shreds the coconut and creates 2-3 types of one is fiber, cocoa peat. All those things are output from that. And this hyacinth cutter, which clears the hyacinth from the lakes, as we've seen pole climber, and we have seen the handloom machine, right? They are indirect impacts. So city dwellers, urban dwellers like us, we may not be directly impacted by some of them, but they can indirectly impact us. So as I said, policy, let me introduce our organization. Our approach is we believe in creativity, volunteers our workforce, and goodness of people or kindness or empathy of the people is our resource. And we are accountable to grassroots innovation. And the philosophy is Samvedana. What do we do for grassroots innovation? We give them voice, visibility, and velocity. So we scout them in villages through our network and through our village trips. We document them. We give them protection in terms of prototyping, value addition, validation, re-engineering, and primarily leading to patenting, awards, business development, and dissemination. That's what we do for grassroots innovation. So this organization was started in 2005. Over the 17 years, this is what we could impact. Quality, okay, let me put it as qualitative and quantitative. So we have promoted volunteering spirit. I have been a volunteer for about 10 years. I have immensely benefited from this, and there's so many friends who I met. They are from different walks of life. They are getting immensely benefited through this. In terms of awareness, in terms of inspiration, how they relate to things, and of course, mindset change. So the many such, just an example of qualitative impact. But let's look at quantitative impact. We have scouted approximately 500 such innovation and 50 such farm practices. Because of paucity of time, I could not showcase many, but this is the actual number. 32 patents granted, 11 under process. 90 innovations have entered the market, and few innovators, we call them grassroots innovators, they have set up their own facilities in their village. Sorry. And they have done great market. We'll see that number. Documented over 1,000 plus traditional knowledge practices. We also participate in many innovation exhibitions, 30 production facilities. Okay, they could create impact. 10 lakh rural families have been impacted. And we also publish a magazine called by the same name, Policina, where we do horizontal dissemination of knowledge from village to village. We publish it and spread the village spread the knowledge from one village through another to another. 1,500 automations have been. Automation is one of the grassroots innovators which helps weavers. And we could also do a lot of MOUs with research institutes, technical engineering colleges, research labs. Phil, can I take 5 more minutes, or can I
Yes,
wrap it?
yes.
Should I wrap it? Okay. So yeah, yeah. Uh, so dissemination, right? So as I said, formal system has a lot of structures to capture knowledge, publish it, and social media, and there's so many networks like journals, email systems, etc., etc. So the dissemination is quite easy, but village to village dissemination, that is critical. So there is a imagine there's a machine devised by one farmer. It is definitely useful for so many farmers across the country, but how do they other village people know that, okay, there is such machine which can be of benefit for them? There's no way. So in government systems there is no structure to disseminate, pass the knowledge from land to land, right? So who does it? So nobody's doing it. We do it. We take this knowledge from one village, publish it, and that magazine is available for so anybody can subscribe and get it. And those magazines are also up in our website. Anybody can download and see. Um, but at one point, which I forgot to mention, was Palisuzna has been operative in only the Telugu speakings in South India. Uh, Telugu is one of the South Indian languages, just for the knowledge of others. So there are two states called Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, which is comprised approximately 50 districts. 2 lakh copies of printed magazines, 100 plus webinars, 100,000 reach. And this is one of our most interesting activities called Shodhayatra. We go and walk in villages, talk to them, spread the awareness of grassroots innovations, provoke them that somebody in the same system, same situations like you, same challenges, has developed this machine. And now it's possible for you. You can do it. You can learn from him, collaborate with him, and you can do it for your own system, your own brothers in your village. So 600 villages have, I myself have been in 6 such yatras. Amazing inspiration. I invite, if you are interested to join, you can definitely join. We call it CSY or Shodhayatra. Okay, so let me conclude with the fine closing remarks. What the world needs, according to Mahatma Gandhi, is not mass production, but production by masses. So mass production is centralized, right? And production by masses is decentralized. That's what the world needs. And quoted by Honeybee Network founder, Professor Anil Gupta, minds on the margin are not marginal minds. They have their mind. They are doing amazing work. They are producing amazing innovations and creating value, solving problems. So if you are inspired by the examples that we have seen, or the kind of inspiration that we get from grassroots innovations, so if you want to take part, so these are the ways you can speak about grassroots innovations. You can talk to us. You can participate in the show the other that I mentioned. Undertake any projects. It could be uh, participating in development, volunteering for different projects that we have. Uh, support being an entrepreneur for our innovations, right? So here I end with acknowledgements. Thanks to Madhurima for referring me to Cogent. And Phil has been very patient in preparing the posters and spreading the word about it. And final thanks to the innovators and volunteers at Palli Sujana family, where I volunteer from, and I represent Palli Sujana proudly at this in this uh, conference or meeting. Uh, thank you so much. Uh, Thanks for giving this opportunity. My name is Raj, and here I am giving the coordinates of our organization through Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, and I'm open for questions or comments that you may have.
Thank you so much as well, Raj. It is our pleasure to hear those informations from you. Definitely. So that's what it means for like mining the minds of the masses. So you know what the masses need and what they can do, and you can let the other know, like the other masses know about well what's possible and that they can take advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, any questions will be entertained. If you raise your hand or you open your mic. Any comments? Yeah, Maria, if you have comments or insights, you can as well. Yeah, from the attendees. So
Yes.
before Yes, go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Hey, Raj, very nice knowing you. And also, sorry, I could not speak earlier regarding the other speaker, Maria. So, Maria, thank you so much for your insights today. And yeah, Raj, this is a very interesting topic, and I'm glad your organization and team is formalizing that. It's really very worthwhile and very, very interesting, actually. So I'm
Thank
glad
you,
you are.
Srini. Thank you.
How big is your organization, and what is the reach of your organization? Is it limited to certain geographies? And
Yeah, so thanks for the question, Srini. Our organization, we don't have any formal organization, and it's all informal, voluntary. As I said, we have an office in Hyderabad. Uh, Actually, I start this organization started by Brigadier Ganesham. After his retirement, he started this, and we have a core team of about 5 or 6 members. So we have an office where 2, 3 people work, and then we have a network of volunteers, approximately 1,000 volunteers spread across Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, 2 states. So our geography or college limitation is Telugu speaking states, Srini, so far in the past 17 years. But the world, okay, the country has recognized the contributions that we did and the impact. So, okay, there have also been 3 Padma Shris and so many awards and contribution, right? So Global 20 under Globe G20, the C20 is one of the civil 20 where civil service organizations are um, across the country are come together. The policy or sorry, grassroots innovation has been one of the sub teams, and currently there is a plan. It's heartening to share with you that this is being considered to be followed by people across the country. So currently, so far, it's been Telugu speaking states in South India, and it just started. So I don't know, it will take some time for people or governments or civil societies to adopt.
yeah,
Sorry,
sounds
there's
good.
a long question, long answer for a short question.
Yeah, no worries. That's great to know. So, what is that? I mean, like we are based out of USA primarily, and of course with international contacts. So, what is the mode of collaboration, or what are you looking for in general in terms of any collaborative efforts?
Okay, okay, few things are possible, which could be, as I said, entrepreneurial support for our innovations. So there are some innovators who are looking for entrepreneurship support. It could be mentoring in growing their businesses and going to market. That's one. Second thing is it can be tech support. All of you are in IT, so there could be some IT tools that could be of help for us. And we have a lot of so many data. I don't know, so I don't have anything. I mean, many things in mind, Srini, but we can have a separate discussion to get to the finer details.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can do that. In fact, I can involve our teams both in the business side and go-to-market strategies and the technical. I think we can have a offline meeting on that. Yeah, sure. But yeah, definitely look forward to whatever way we can support each other. Thank you.
That's great, Shani. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And yeah, so that was Srini again, as mentioned, as the CEO of Cogent. So he interacted. So like, have a safe drive, sir. And yeah, so we have managed to like go more than the allotted time, but definitely it's worth the information that we have gathered from the two speakers that we have today. So such great ideas. And sir, just to close, Raj, would you like to? So you have flashed your informations there on LinkedIn, on Facebook, your email as well, and also like any other works that you are doing right now that anyone would be looking forward to do, like coaching, mentoring. Like, do you have other platforms as well, or are you working on a project? you have any you'd like to promote?
Uh, no, so no. In my personal interest, I'm doing few things, but here I wanted to present only about the voluntary work. So
All right.
yeah, there are always many projects going on, and we as I said, this are volunteering, right? So we need people
Yes.
who can write well. We applying for awards. There's so many activities. I think I think it needs a separate conversation. So it could be in
Exactly.
terms of writing, technology, or some communications, and some mentoring for our innovators. All those things, as I said, formal, informal, when they go together, magic is possible.
Exactly. So there you go. So for those who have missed the information on how to get in touch with Sir Raj for any offline or other time for conversation, you can just go back to the few minutes earlier to when you're watching this recorded session if you haven't joined live, and also for those who are for our attendees, the links are there on the chat. But yeah, definitely all was recorded, and it will be uploaded on the YouTube channel. Let us talk it. So please do watch if you wish to have collaboration with Raj and the volunteering acts. So and also for Maria, yeah, the same goes as earlier. You can reach out to her on social media platform like LinkedIn, so you can communicate with her as well. So with that, we can close the session for today. We thank you so much for joining us today with this session, and the topic's really interesting. But we still wanted to see you again, and we wanted to invite you. So if you have time as well, Raj and Maria, for next Wednesday, we will have two new speakers as well and two new topics to cover. So you can join, and for those who will be watching this recorded session later, one after it's uploaded, we invite you and we encourage you to join. And if you wish to join as an attendee, you're very welcome, and you're most welcome if you wish to join as a speaker, definitely, because sharing knowledge and information is essential, and it's a great gift to each and every one. So thank you so much again, and we bid you goodbye for now, and hope you keep safe as always. So thank you so much, and yeah, Maria and Raj, thank you so much. You take care.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank
Thank you, Madhu.
you.
Thank you, Coach,
Thank
and
you.
Srini. Nice connecting with you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Bye,
Thank you so
Maria.
much.
Nice meeting
Bye,
you.
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil, as well.